Hey guys, so several years ago we got the opportunity to start, I guess, delivering devotionals or ministering to people at the Southern Indiana Grand Prix Series, and we've done it at a few other races. And just over the years, it seems like I want to say it's difficult, but it's either hot or cold or pouring down rain, or we're behind schedule or something like that. And so we started the website a couple years ago, and a couple years ago we planned on starting to do this, but I'm kind of lazy and busy like everybody else, and I'm not a huge fan of being in front of the camera. Um, so we wanted to start doing maybe like a vlog before the races, so we could, I feel like, maybe deliver more of the message. I know how it is. You line up on the race, and I feel like only the first few rows really get the message, and it's just hard. You got guys talking around you, and it's hard to really hear it. And I hate to miss the opportunity for someone who really needs to hear the message to miss it because they're in the back row and they can't hear, or someone riding their bike in late or that sort of thing. So figure we give this a shot. It's always hard to figure out a place to get started, and I figure I'd just kind of start with some of my story and how God's led me to this point. And I'm just going to pick out one story in particular, just to, like I said, pick a place to get started. But I used to fly helicopters in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's been about 10 years ago now. But man, not that I was a sheltered young man, but going out to the Gulf of Mexico, it's definitely a whole different crowd out there. Good people, met a lot of really good people out there, but and some of them can be pretty rough around the edges. And so, here I am, a guy who's been raised in church, and not afraid to to put myself out there as a Christian, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself bold and strong and courageous on stepping out there and being the first guy to talk about Jesus. And so, just we had this group of guys one day, and we're just sitting around and talking, and I don't remember what we were talking about. Nothing dirty or nothing crazy, but just just a general guy conversation. And maybe it's probably a little rough around the edges, but we're all just sitting there talking, and this guy named Carl Ducat, I'd worked with him in the Gulf for several months, and I knew he was a Christian, and but just the way that he, I guess, molded himself to the group of guys, but didn't change himself, was really cool. And anyways, we're sitting there and we're talking about something. Like I said, I couldn't remember what we were talking about, and I don't remember what he said, but he took that conversation at some point and he stepped out and put Jesus into the conversation in a way that just completely switched that conversation, and not in a way that it was like you got that one religious guy that steps into a conversation like, oh, we better watch what we say, better watch what we do, he's going to make us feel bad, and that sort of thing. It wasn't that way at all. It was very refreshing the way that he introduced Jesus into this conversation. And I just sat back and watched this circle of guys change just right before my eyes. Just that conversation, and these guys, you could just tell that they changed and the conversation changed, but you could tell that they enjoyed or appreciated the direction that conversation went. And just sitting back watching him, just the way that he did it, it was so encouraging, and it was awesome, really. And I just stood back, and I decided, I was like, I want to be a Carl Ducat. I want to be the guy that's strong and courageous, the one that's the first one to step out and be like, well, Jesus said this, or God said this, or just this is what God has done for me, and that sort of thing. But to do it in a way that doesn't turn people away. Religion is pretty good at hey, I'm better than you, I'm a Christian, and you shouldn't be doing that, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, that's not exactly how it's supposed to be, and that's not how Jesus did it. So, but anyways, like I said, I just wanted to share, Carl Ducat. He just really turned me around and gave me the strength to kind of follow in his footsteps and be strong and courageous like that. So, like I said, there's a million different directions I could go with that conversation. There was a lot of other things that took place after that continued for me to continue to grow, to get to the point that I'm at now, But that was definitely a day that I went from, a kid that was raised in church to, a man after God's heart, and wanting to walk alongside Jesus, and, and share my testimony, and talk, walk in a relationship with other brothers and sisters in Christ, and kind of figure it all out together. So, like I said, just wanted to try to be encouraging to you guys, and be real. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday.